What travelers can learn from Brittney Griner and Russia. Hey guys, this is Ozzy from Wanderlust Oceania, where I provide unique views, advice, and stories for you, the passionate traveler. Today we're going to talk about Brittney Griner and her Russian trial. Who is Brittney Griner? For those of you who don't know who Brittney Griner is, she is a professional basketball player in the WNBA and decided during the off season to play basketball in Russia to make extra money. When she arrived in Russia, she was caught by Russian authorities for having marijuana or cannabis. The country is very illegal to have cannabis or any drug product not approved by the Russian government. So she got arrested, sent to jail. She had a trial. The convict for the trial told her that she had to spend 9 years in prison and pay 1 million ruble, which is the equivalent of 16,400 US dollars. What can we learn from this? Well, the first thing we can learn about it is bringing any drugs to another country. A lot of travelers don't pay attention to the laws of the country when it comes to bringing medicine or drugs that they may or may not really need, and it's very critical that you as a traveler pay attention to it, especially if you need the medicine, because there's some countries that may not allow you to bring certain drugs into the country. It's very important that you as a traveler know the rules about bringing drugs. It is very important. If you go to a country like Malaysia, there's been many stories about people bringing drugs that they should have never brought into that country. They ended up either facing life in prison or facing death. The last thing I want for you guys is to be in that situation if you need drugs for whatever reason. The best bet is to call the embassy, look at the laws of the country, understand those laws before you bring any kind of medicine or drug into the country. Obviously, the most common drugs you cannot bring into the country are stuff like crack, marijuana, those kinds of illegal drugs you cannot bring in many of the countries around the world because they have a problem with these drugs. The governments don't want the people to be sick for many reasons, but it's something that the government cannot really control, and it is very challenging for them. So they make it very difficult to bring these drugs in by having harsher sentence. For Brittney Griner, she's probably lucky at this point that she's not in a country like Malaysia, in which if she brought the drugs, she'd probably be there facing life in prison, if not worse, which I mentioned, death. At this point, I don't know if she is going to, well, she can't appeal because she pleaded guilty to the charges. Right now, she's sitting in jail, prison. She's going to prison, and who knows when she'll start her sentence, if it even happens, because of the situation that I'm going to talk about next. The next thing we're going to talk about is the conflict, the global political conflict happening throughout the world, particularly with the Russian-Ukrainian conflict going on right now as this video is recording. As you probably know, Russia has pretty much invaded Ukraine. This war has been going on for quite a bit, and we don't know who's winning, and that has affected how people are traveling throughout the world, particularly when it comes to going to Russia. Popular businesses such as McDonald's have left the country. They've closed shop. They've left the country in order to punish Russia for invading another country. With the instability of what's happening out there, it affects a lot how travelers decide to go to certain places. So you're not going to get a lot of travelers going there because of many reasons, because it's too dangerous. Because of this, a lot of governments are persuading their citizens to not travel to Russia, and that's the thing you gotta pay attention to as a traveler. You need to pay attention to the global political conflicts that are going around the world, because it will affect how you travel. Look at 2020 when COVID was at its peak. A lot of countries had closed their borders, and a lot of people got trapped in countries. They could not go home because governments were not allowing people to return to their home countries for fear of spreading COVID. So you have to pay attention, you have to be ready, and have a game plan to ensure that you are protected and you have a way to get back home. And this is no different. So a lot of people, when the war kicked off, they left Russia in a hurry because of fear that the government there might close its borders, or it might be very difficult to catch flights outside the country, especially when countries are placing sanctions. That means not a whole lot of Russian flights can go to certain places such as Germany or the United States, my home country, because they're not allowing Russian aircrafts to land there due to the conflict that is happening. But for travelers, you have to be aware of these situations throughout the world. No matter where you go, you can even go to the safest place. You could go to England, and all of a sudden England itself has some kind of disease that now you have to quarantine when you get home for who knows how long, and now you're missing time of work, or you're missing your family, or you're missing events that you need to go because it's constantly changing. It's very important for you to recognize these stuff, and like I said, you can learn a lot from Brittney Griner and her situation in Russia. You will find out quickly that you can't just do whatever you want in different countries. Different countries have certain laws that you must follow and you must understand before you go out there. I'm all about freedom of movement, freedom of traveling, as long as you understand the consequences with traveling. Very important for every passionate traveler to understand there is a risk when you go out to another country that's not your home country. If you like this video, make sure you hit like, subscribe, share this video. Also, check out my other videos. These videos are there to help you guys if you're looking to go to places like Nigeria, Finland, Turkey. I've got you covered. I'm there to help you. These videos are there to help you plan out your trip, maybe get a refresher on what the country is like. They're there for you guys. Check them out, and I'll be seeing you guys later. Peace.